Ninja Elf Kitty is playtime. You geek.
Go on.
I don't need to burp.
You know you will.
I don't need one.
Well, we'll just wait then.
Move in.
Whoop. Gangnam Style. Burn Style. There we go. And that's the theme of this. You're starting yourself laughing. You're not even talking into the mic. I don't know. Try and... Barrel roll!
Now we move on.
There we go.
Never stop, comrades. Today we fight with handguns. Tomorrow we can fight with cruise missiles. Mounted gun, Scorpio.
So you were saying about the weather depicting people's moods.
Yes. That's just your face. You see? Picking up now, mate. Right, our topic today is about the weather. For me, when it's sunny, my mood, and it's not because of bipolar issues, because I suffer from bipolar, it's not. So for me, when it's sunny, my moods change, and they're not gloomy and depressive when it's sunny, but when it's rainy, my mood changes, like it gets all kind of,
We must push forward.
really kind of upset and whatnot, and then I just I just like sleep all day. Well, not all day, it's just that I just find like rainy days really depressing. But like I say, it's not a bipolar issue, it's just that it kind of, you know, reflects certain parts of your life. Like if it's rainy, I'm guessing that, you know, your mind starts to kind of wander due to the fact that not many people do go out on rainy days and stuff and whatnot. So yeah, and like today, when it's really sunny, you know, people are in a happy moods and whatnot. Yeah, some of them, you do get the grumpy bastards, but it's alright. And, you know, and things and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Right. The topic on bipolar, there's different kinds of bipolar. You get like the ones that need to have medication and whatnot. Then you get the ones that just have the mild bipolar issues. I think that, you know, anything can trigger bipolar off, like going on family issues and stuff like that. Yet not everyone's kind of born with it. A lot of people can get it through all kinds of different trauma that they've had in life. It's just the way, you know, it's just the way your body says it's still suffering and still doesn't know how to handle certain situations yet. So the doctors gave it a name as bipolar. And it's just that your mind's not in that right frame, fully focused on the positive outcome, and, you know, because it doesn't know how to and whatnot, depending how badly, you know, the certain part of your mind's been treated and whatnot by bullshit and whatnot. You've always got to remember that if you know the truth to stuff, then, you know, there's always a way out of an issue.
Not suicide.
No, not suicide. Definitely not suicide. Suicide's not the answer to your problems. you know, you've always got to know the truth, and you know, you do get the ones that know the truth from day one, you do get the ones that kind of lie, and that can also trigger off, you know, to feel like you've been constantly manipulated and get really down and depressed about stuff. And you know, a lot of people do go through that, but as long as if you know the truth to what actually happened, then that would bring your mind out of a really bad situation that it's in, depending on what caused it and whatnot. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, but it's a sunny day. I always see that as a positive outcome. You know, but when it's rainy, I kind of go into my little dark mode, which I think everyone does when it's raining, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think that everyone has a positive outcome on life. And yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, and things. But yeah. It's like, what really bugs me is like a lot of people, you know, some people have a lot more than others, you know, when it comes to being, you know, a professional actor or professional recording a thing and whatnot. Yeah, recording artist, that's it, yeah. And they always think that they're better than any other people when they're damn well not, to be honest with you. They're no different from any other bugger that you know, from anyone that's on job seekers allowance, they're no different. You know, because at the end of the day, you've got to remember where your gifts came from and what you're meant to do with them, what you're not meant to do with them. And that really annoys me, of how some artists think they'll, you know, because they've got a great life and whatnot, you know, that they're better than anybody else, when realistically they are no different from anybody else. And, you know, I've seen a lot of artists on TV who think that, you know, that they're better, that they can... Yeah, Justin Bieber, and he's like 15, he thinks that he's a professional musician. No, he's not. He can't even sing, he can't do anything like that. But yeah. A tip for you famous lot, by the way. You know, if you've just found out something that, you know, like... things and whatnot, don't ignore family members when you're famous, by the way, because that really annoys a lot of people. I know that a lot of people have said in interviews, you know, that you know, now my daughter's famous, she doesn't pay attention to me, she doesn't talk to me and whatnot. You know, like I said, don't ignore family members. Just because you're famous, you're no different from any other bugger that walks the street, you know. And one of these days, you know, the way that you've been treating other people like that, you know, the same thing will happen to you, and you just won't like it, you know. And yeah. I'm guessing it depends on, you know, what the situation is with the family member as well, you know. And I know that a lot of artists have made a lot of mistakes when it comes to that, you know, and that triggers off all kinds of issues, people getting involved when they shouldn't be, and nice. Yeah, that could trigger all kinds of issues off by not being honest and stuff. What?
Also, Eminem's a prime example of that. He got famous, but he always has time for his daughter Hailey, who's grown up to be really hot. Yeah, that's true. A lot of artists don't do that. You know, they totally push their family to the side and just kind of focus on stuff that they think that actually matters, but when what actually matters is the surroundings outside of the fame, and that has to come first. You know, I know that a lot of actors have lied and, you know, said that, you know, I'm famous when really they're not, and, you know, they're just famous for like a second and that's about it, and then think that everything revolves around them when it doesn't. Excuse me. And yeah, so it's, you know, fame's rather bizarre. Fame can like turn you constantly up the wall, and that's when people can get the wrong end of the stick about situations
and the whole manipulative system starts, and shit like that. You could be mistaken for somebody. They are lookalikes. There really are lots of lookalikes around, but it's it's really hard when you're famous to be lumbered with an issue. But you just got to think about family members that have been lumbered with an issue that they don't know how to focus on yet. And that can also trigger off bipolar issues as well, being thrown backwards and forwards, going around every curveball, and literally being lumbered, with different situations when you try to find the true knowledge out of it, and that can lead to very bad depressive moments, and you just got to try and get yourself out of it the best you can, with support from friends who understand the situation. And that kind of will give you this is brilliant. Will give you the understanding that you need. This recording is very serious, but it's just I'm drinking Diet Pepsi, and I'm just known to burp quite a lot once I've drank this. I'm so thirsty.
And when you're not drinking Diet Pepsi.
They're just so loud. It's ridiculous.
When you're generally awake.
Yeah.
Burping and farting.
I don't fart at all. I am an anti-fartist. I really don't fart. I don't fart at all, to be honest. So yeah.
Even though there's a recording of you farting and then laughing for an hour.
But yeah. Right. Back to the issue. Yeah. It could be that, if your mind's focused on other things, the little part of your mind that's wanting to kind of pull you away from that situation and to actually to actually focus on stuff that actually matter. It's very hard, and it and if you can only get to the person that's in trouble on a certain level, and they're looking for a lot more than that, then you have to come to some sort of arrangement to kind of make their mind more focused on stuff that actually matters instead of focusing on stuff that actually don't, because that can trigger off all sorts of manipulative systems and cause very bad depression and stuff like that. And it's not fair on the person that's only just been lumbered with new information that apparently the parents say that they should have known from day one. It's like, well, why didn't you tell them from day one? Because it's the parents' fault for not kind of informing them to what actually happened out of the bullshit situation that the person's got lumbered in. It can, there's lots of different things that can trigger off bipolar issues, but you just always got to focus on what actually matters and the truth of it, to kind of put that part of your mind in a better way to to help you as a person, and to things.
In my ear.
No, it wasn't.
Alright.
And to
It sounded very wet.
Yeah. Because it's like people that are famous always say, oh, I've been through a really troubled life, and music saved me and stuff like that. That is a load of bollocks. Famous stars, I mean, there's a few genuine people out there, but a lot of famous stars just say that for attention. Majority of the time it's just bollocks. And it's like, in interviews they do actually say, what happened before was just a load of shit, It wasn't genuine. And that's when a load of accusations start, a load of manipulated system starts, and then a few weeks later they're saying, oh, I really suffer from really bad bipolar. You shouldn't lie about stuff like that. It's not the right way to go about it, really. Yeah.
I think Charlie Sheen used that excuse to cover up his drug habit. He was blaming bipolar for doing drugs and stuff, or blaming his drug use on bipolar, one of them.
The thing is, when you suffer from bipolar, it doesn't cause you to take drugs or to kind of kill someone and stuff like that. It's usually drugs that trigger off bipolar, not bipolar trigger off drugs. The drug actually comes...
Wait, I gotta say that's only for people not born with it, because you can be born, obviously.
Yeah, you can be born with it. I wasn't born with bipolar. I got mine through my eating problem that I had, due to the fact that, you know, it knackered up a lot of stuff. So I wasn't necessarily born with bipolar or depression. I actually just got lumbered with it. Really. It's not bipolar is not something that anybody wants. It's just a really bad situation, and people actually use that to kind of cause manipulate systems and to kind of you know, use that to kind of put the other person in a situation where they don't know whether they're coming or going, and you know, it's hard, really, really hard. But you know, what's really frustrating is that, you know, if one person's just not acknowledging you whatsoever, you know, in a way that they should be, that can also start up a bunch of manipulated systems thinking, well, what the fuck's going on here? You know, that can cause like false rumours and false crap going around, and you know, and you just got to think, well, you know, you've got to find a way out of it. Life cannot be constantly revolved around bipolar. You just got to be around the positive outcome to what actually is going on, and to what actually is just the word of mouth, really. But you need to find, if you know something about someone and you know that it's triggering off a certain part of your mind, thinking, well, you know, this is really depressing, you know, it's horrible situation to become in, not knowing whether you're coming or going. You need to get this information from the person directly, no matter what they do. You still need to hear it from them to help you kind of come out of a situation. You can't just always go on the word of mouth from different people that think they know the situation when realistically they probably don't, because they've probably heard it from a word of mouth instead of actually going up to the person directly and saying, has this actually happened, do you know this person, and that kind of thing. It's only when you hear that you know the truth. You can't just expect to hear it from other people that think they know when they don't, because that also causes manipulative bullshit, thinking that they know stuff when they don't. You just have to go to the person in question, really, to help your mind focus on, to get you out of a situation where your mind's actually on constant manipulation, because you're hearing stuff, then you're hearing something they say is true, and then you're hearing another part of information that say that it's bollocks. It can create different kinds of voices in your head to kind of say, well, you know, what's the actual truth in all of this? So you do have to hear it from the person directly to help you come out of the depressive situation that you're in. Sometimes, you know, you will hear it from the person directly, other times you won't. And if you don't hear it from the person directly, from the person in question they've been referring to, then you know that it's not true. You know that you've just been around constant bullshit and lies. You just have to go out there and just make, you know, the life on your own, and just focus on stuff that actually matters instead of focusing on stuff that you don't. It's the same. Music and stuff cannot save you from traumas. It cannot help you in any way whatsoever. That's just a cover-up. It doesn't save you from anything. You need to go out there and save yourself. You need to go out there to kind of focus on things that actually do matter, to be honest.
Also, about music, I don't think it can't really save you, but it can definitely change your mood a bit. Like, I have songs where if I'm in a shitty mood, I listen to them, it'll cheer me up, but it can't, like, music won't ever cure cancer or depression and stuff. It can help you get back on the right path. obviously, but it's not, I think it's a good aid, but I wouldn't say it's useless. I'd say it's a good aid, but you definitely need to get your mindset there yourself, or at least with professional help. But definitely, I think use music or poetry and stuff like that to relax you a bit. So, yeah.
A good way to cure bipolar actually. Yeah. Bipolar is actually meditation. And nature surroundings and whatnot. Meditation, and yoga as well, because you're just becoming one with yourself, and it blocks out, bullshit around you, and you actually feel your inner self that's kind of going through the trauma. And going through the whole manipulative system, but it's not always on the inside that suffers, the outside can suffer too. Majority of the time, it's always on the outside where the bipolar occurs. It's never really on the inside. Because it actually shows a lot more on the outside, bipolar, than it does on the inside, really. But, a lot of people kind of take the piss when there's a person going through bipolar and stuff, because it's a very serious issue. You shouldn't mess with someone's knowledge or mess with someone's mind to a degree where they don't know who they are and what they're doing, who they're going out with, what's true and what's not. It's very hard to be going around all the curveballs just to find out what is actually going on. You should get told things from when you were little, really. It doesn't matter about, if you're little, you don't understand what's going on. At least you've been told at that point. There's nothing stopping anyone from telling somebody the truth, to who they are, what they do, what they don't do. There's nothing. They just do it by themselves. They choose not to tell you. A word of mouth realistically cannot stop the other person from telling you to who they actually are, really. Because if you don't tell them from day one, then you're the cause of all the manipulative stuff that goes on. It doesn't matter if someone is stopping you from saying it. You've always got to break through that and tell them before it's too late. Because one of these days, someone could find out something about someone and it's too late for them to react on it. So they just experience stuff from the back end of stuff, which doesn't help someone who suffers from bipolar issues. Because it just knackers them up even more. And they've now, possibly going to have to find a way to make a life by themselves or with good friends and family to kind of focus on stuff now that actually matters, instead of focusing on stuff that in this time does not matter anymore. But, you just got to find a cure and find a way out of it, really. Because people will feed off that. They will literally feed off that to make you focus on stuff, like to make you believe in that time that it actually matters, when realistically it doesn't. So, it doesn't matter what people say, what nasty people say. It doesn't start from the other person coming forward and say, yeah, this actually did happen, and because the more you don't hear it from the other person, the more you're just going to continue to walk away. And I'm guessing those with bipolar will understand what I'm actually talking about. Especially if they've been fucked around for God knows how long. You've always got to hear stuff. If there's a person in question, you've always got to hear stuff from them directly. You can't just go on the word of mouth. If they're famous or if they're not, it doesn't matter. They're still human at the end of the day. They still have a brain, they still have a heart, they still have everything other humans have. Just because that they're on TV doesn't mean to say that they're any different. And that's what really pisses me off. That they think that they're better than anyone else, when realistically they're not. You just got to know where they actually got it from. Because one of these days, career comes and goes, family doesn't. And it just really annoys me. Justin Bieber is a prime example to this. And I know a lot of people will agree with me, even if you're on bipolar or not. He's just pushed his family way out. And, he's just got to remember that career comes and goes, family doesn't. You know, by the time he gets around to kind of discussing his family properly, the timing will come where he knows he's made a bad mistake. Yeah. I think we've covered most of that, to be honest with you.
We?
I.
You?
Yeah. But yeah, those that are on bipolar, just, meditation's a good one. And meditation and yoga, singing, dancing and acting, just to get your mind focused on things that you enjoy. Whatever it, you know, drawing, walking, cycling, swimming, you know, anything to kind of make that part of your mind feel more positive and make you feel more creative and stuff like that. So hopefully, you know, you'll have a much better outcome, and don't let anyone manipulate you into believing stuff. You have to hear everything from the person directly. It doesn't matter whether they're famous or whether they're not. It doesn't matter. You still got to hear it from them. If you don't hear it from them directly, whether it's via email, phone, them coming to your house or whatever, then you know what to do. Just walk away from the situation completely and focus on stuff that actually matter that you have. So yeah, that's all I have to say, really.
Any more burps?
I'll try. I don't think there is, but I'll try. Fart there as well. I didn't manage to record that.